Entering payroll checks in the program is not unlike the general check writing process. However, we have built a few tools that may help to track and report the payroll elements. Keep in mind that there are many different payroll scenarios, and this video covers the most general. You can contact support to discuss how to handle your particular process, or for assistance in adding appropriate accounts. The first thing to address before entering payroll are the accounts you will need to log the payment. These accounts might be expense accounts such as payroll expense, salary and wage expense, or payroll tax expense. Or they may be liability accounts if you withhold for taxes or insurance. In our chart of accounts, we have set up in our expenses a payroll tax expense as well as a salary expense account. We have also added federal, FICA, state tax, and group health withholding accounts in our other current liability range. As we add our first payroll check, we are setting up a template to copy in the future. We make sure to type the payee as it should appear on their check. Enter the payment amount, then choose the salary expense account in the chart number field on the first transaction detail line. Edit the debit to the gross salary amount, then use the down arrow to add another allocation line. Find the first withholding account and click to select. You can edit the description or simply leave it as the default description, then enter the amount of the federal withholding as a credit. We add another line and do the same for our FICA, state, and group health withholding. When all of the allocations have been entered, press the Control key to make sure the allocations match the check amount, and correct if they do not. Notice the payroll column. When you are entering payments that you wish to report on your W-2s or 1099s, mark this true in the payroll column by double-clicking. This makes the entry available on the payroll ledger report that can be either ran by payee or for all payroll checks. This report will list each transaction, then summarize all of the allocations at the bottom. The next time you pay an employee, you will be able to use the payee dropdown to copy the last payment, then correct the amounts of the payment and allocations. If you need to withhold payment from a commission check, you can first process the rep payable payment, then modify the check amount and add the withholding allocations to the transaction detail. Mark this payment as true in the payroll column. If you view your balance sheet, you will see these payroll withholding account balances listed. When you are ready to pay out the withholdings, create a new check to the appropriate payee and choose the appropriate withholding account in the chart number. Notice that my allocation is only part of my payment amount, as I match FICA funds and allocate the company portion to the payroll tax expense account. If you are tracking several employees, you have the option of using the payroll screen to generate the payment. This allows you to reconcile the withholdings to create the check. Then you can modify it to add your own expense if necessary. If you use a payroll service, many times you are just entering a single entry to payroll expense and then possibly an additional entry to payroll tax expense and maybe a payroll fee. Simply log these as separate payments. Continue on to see how to move funds between accounts in the Transferring Funds tutorial.